What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV. Back with another live stream today. We'll be discussing the latest Arsenal transfer news, although we haven't signed anybody yet. We are still hoping and waiting. What is Edu doing? But we'll look ahead to the Liverpool game that might or might not happen. It could be controversial. It could happen again, people. And we'll discuss the latest Aubameyang news, Granit Xhaka, and of course, daily Dusan Vlahovic. Lots of Dusan Vlahovic to talk about today, by the way. Big up to every single one of you for tuning in. Really appreciate it. And thank you to everyone who tuned in yesterday and commented. Obviously, at the start, we had a difficult issue to speak about. We spoke about it. And big up to everybody that came on the member stream yesterday as well. That was very good. We had more people on than we've ever had. More of you making your debut, coming out and talking. What? No, the intro music didn't work. Oh, apologies, man. I'll run that at the end. Don't worry about it. I'm sure you've seen those goals enough now. I might have to change that intro slightly. Not the music. The music will always be there. That's going all the way to the top. But we may change the goals or something. But listen, big up to everyone. Hope you're all well on this Tuesday. And listen, 2 days until hopefully we play Liverpool. Buenos Aires Gunnar said, what's up, Curtis? Me and the missus have fallen ill, but we're moving. Good luck to you both. Take time, man. Take time, you know. Relax, eat that proper food, and just, you know, hopefully you become well. Johnny, when can I become a member? When I can, I'll become a member. Big up to you, bro. No worries. That guy, I never get notifications for member streams. I don't know why. That's crazy. But I try and always tell people on this stream, just to let you know. Let's go into Granit Xhaka mode, people. And we are going to be speaking about Granit Xhaka in today's stream. There's some news coming out, and it's a little bit controversial. If you're a Granit Xhaka fan, which there aren't many of them, you may want to leave the room when that comes on, let me tell you. But hey, big up to South London's finest. 11 says, big up, Curtis. Always happy to catch one of your streams. No change on the intro, said Andrew Gasser. Elliot, you got me. Stand up if you hate Tottenham. That, I swear down, yeah, I've set myself up with that, and I did it once, and now every time I feel obliged to do it. I see it there, and I'm like, you've got to stand up, man. You can't. RSPB said, big up, Curtis, and boy, just some advice. Stay away from that NFT. Yeah, man, I know I put a tweet out saying I've been looking at NFTs, but it seems a bit dodgy, man. I'll stick to the crypto. Snake Eyes, I will get back to you today, bro. Big up the legend, Big C. Loved the member stream yesterday. Big up. I think we had 10 people who actually came on the stream yesterday, which was fantastic. So big up to every one of you. You all spoke well, whether that's some of the regulars who appear or some of you making your debut. Right. We're going in early today, people. Daily Dusan. It's that time again, and actually he's probably the main part of the show today. So I mean, listen, I almost feel like apologizing every time I talk about this guy because it's frustrating, it's annoying, it doesn't feel like we're going to sign him, but we have to try, and we'll talk about it, because if it happens, we'll say all the pain was worth it. But is it going to happen? Now, Dusan Vlahovic. As you can see, and I'm sure many of you know anyway, people, that Fiorentina won 6-0 last night in Serie A. Dusan Vlahovic scored 1 goal. He scored again for Fiorentina last night, making him the joint top goal scorer in Serie A this season with 17 goals in 21 games. The 21-year-old appeared to wave goodbye to the fans in his muted celebration. Do you think he will join Arsenal this month? I mean, listen. Arsenal fans are like no other fans. We track planes. We track cars. We spam people's pictures. And now we're body language experts as well. So let me put it into context how the game went. Vlahovic missed a penalty, right? He missed a penalty. Later on in the game, he scored. Fantastic goal. Makes a run over the top. Long ball, controls it, lobs it over the goalkeeper. He puts his hands up as if to say, to me, I was taking it as he's apologising to the fans. I missed a penalty that I shouldn't have missed. Now I've put it right by scoring a goal. Sorry to the fans. I shouldn't have missed the penalty. But Arsenal Twitter went into absolute meltdown. Oh my God, he's waving to the fans. He's leaving. He's signing for Arsenal. It's done. It's done and dusted. I said, listen, I'm going to speak about it today, but I will give my honest opinion. I felt he was saying sorry. I didn't think he was waving. But I do have to admit, the way he was acting was a little bit like, he was hugging the manager and he did wave a little bit. I'm not saying on this picture here. That one there, I feel he's blatantly apologising. But he was acting a little bit like kind of emotional. Now, Fiorentina, I've done some investigating here, people. Fiorentina's next home game is on the 6th of February at home against Lazio. Their next game is Cagliari away. That is this Sunday. So they do not play another home game until the transfer window has closed. So I'm putting 2 and 2 together here for my Arsenal fans, and I'm coming up with 5 because we need hope. 2 and 2 is 4, you say, but for Arsenal fans, 2 and 2 is 5. They do not have another home game this month. That was his last home game for Fiorentina in the minds of many Arsenal fans. Was he waving by or was he apologising? Florida Water said he's coming home. Bring him to the carpet, man. Come back. Just come and play football on the carpet. No one's got a better pitch than us, man. Come and play on the carpet. I've done my investigating, people. No more home games this month. But listen, I think we're very much shamelessly clutching at straws, people. But without hope, you have nothing. So we're hoping. Daniel Power, big up to you for becoming a member on the channel. Really appreciate that. Big up to you. Chris Fraser said, definitely an apology considering he tried a Panenka. Exactly. You try and chip a penalty and you miss it. You do need to apologise. Dana said, courtesy, wave goodbye and put his hands together to say thank you to the fans. Woo-hoo. It's happening, people. It's happening. He's on his way. No, I'm joking, man. Let's see. I remember thinking Luis Suarez was happening as well. And then we signed Dennis Suarez. So, don't get your hopes up, people. Don't get your hopes up. But I'm trying it. Inspector Shawman, I had to do some digging, people. DC, hey, no police business, Fitz said he shook players' hands as well. Goodbye makes it a goodbye for the Arsenal, and that is indeed true. Listen, just his general demeanour. That one there, I think he apologised for the penalty. He was shaking hands. He went over to the manager. He hugged him in such a way. It just felt like it was some sort of, if I do leave. This is what I think it was. I think it was, if I do leave, this will be my last home game. So I'm going to make sure I say goodbye to the fans properly. I'm going to make sure I embrace the manager, shake hands with the players. He could play this weekend in an away game and then leave. I've said this time and time again. Do I think Dusan Vlahovic signs for Arsenal this month? Probably not. Probably not, to be honest. But I have to say this. Surely Arsenal would not be doing all of this if they didn't feel like there was a chance. His agent or somebody must have said to Arsenal, if you get to those numbers, then it can happen. If I knock on your door and your car isn't for sale and I say, yo, mate, you know what? I'll give you 10 grand for that car. You go, you mad, bruv. I bought this for 8 grand 6 months ago. I love this car. This is my favourite car. I'll never sell it. And all of a sudden I go, how about 20 grand? And you go, well, I could do with an extra seat in the back. And this one's only a 2 litre. I want that new 3 litre. And, yeah, go on then. I tell you what, I'll do it. I think it's one of them. I think Dusan Vlahovic is saying, listen, you know what? I don't really want to go to Arsenal, but if they give me 300 grand a week and if they pay Fiorentina 60 million and they give my agent 15 million, what the heck, we'll do it. We'll go to the carpet. I think that's the kind of logic that he's looking at. I don't think he's really desperate to come to Arsenal. It's like being in the nightclub. You're looking for the one that looks like a model. Sometimes it gets a little bit late in the night and the 5, 6 out of 10... don't look too bad. I think Arsenal are the 5, 6 out of 10 in the club right now for Dusan Vlahovic. So, I think that's where we're at. But I do think it was a listen. Just in case I leave, let me make sure I say goodbye to everyone. You know, he seems like the second level Haaland. He's probably not at that Haaland level. He's like the one below, you know. And let's face it, only one club is going to sign Haaland this summer. Man City, Real Madrid, wherever he ends up. So someone else is going to be on the lookout for a striker. And I just think Vlahovic seems like he wants to wait until the summer. But money talks, people. I'm not going to sing it again this time. All right, money talks. No, I won't. I've done it about 10 times, people. Harish said 100k per week at best. Florida Water start tracking flights from Florence to London ASAP. Jake Snack says big goggles settings. We've all been there, people. We've all been there. Jeremy said Curtis' brain is going mad. Jeremy said Wax is convinced that he is coming to Arsenal. I hope he knows something that we don't, because I would love to see him join. Chris said, Big C, you're legit the best football YouTuber. I appreciate that, bro. Sean said, you're speaking on experience. I prefer not to speak, Sean. If I speak, I'm in big, big trouble. And I don't want to be in big trouble, Sean. Anything will do settings, eh? Yo, man, I'm telling you. Curtis the Dream Merchant. Well, like, yesterday was Martin Luther King Day in America, so it's all about I have a dream and that, you know. Buenos Aires, laughing my arse off. Everyone is a 10-10 if you got enough drinks in you, man. I'm telling you, Arsenal start to look attractive to the man when he's drunk and they tell him the money they can give him. He's nowhere near Haaland. Listen, I don't think he is. But, you know, people say similar build, left-footed, similar style of play. He's the B-Tech, you know. He's Haaland off Wish. You know, takes 8 weeks to turn up and not quite as good. Arsenal are the fat bird at the bar. Oh, yo, don't. I've started something I should have never begun here, had I? I need to leave it, people. But yeah, listen. The game was interesting because it was interesting that a certain defensive midfielder, Uruguayan, he looked pretty good in the game, to be honest. A certain Lucas Torreira, playing defensive midfield, crunching people in the tackle, and also scored a goal as well. He looked very comfortable, very at home in that midfield. 4-3-3, him and Bonaventura. And you think to yourself, you know, ain't it funny, all these players we loan out and stuff like that, they all look great at other clubs. But at Arsenal, we can't get the best out of them. But yeah, interesting. So he did look good. Rishikesh said, Curtis, is that true that you played a FIFA World Cup qualifier? Yeah, I did. I did a few years back. Big up to you for the super chat. Brown envelopes. Yo, listen, I think we need more than envelopes for Vlahovic. We need suitcases full of cash for this guy, man. 100%. Serie A suits Torreira, 100%. Slower game. Looks really good and comfortable in Italy. I don't think he really loved it in England. Never really seemed to adjust to the Premier League. 1.2k in here. 1.3k already, actually. Make sure we smash the likes. We've been comfortably hitting 1,000 likes daily. The support has been incredible. And the funny thing is, people, the window hasn't even heated up yet for Arsenal. You know, we haven't even preheated the oven yet. You know, wait till we actually sign players. If we sign players, you know, which is what I'm worrying about a little bit right now. But there's our daily Dusan. It was first today, Mangish. Usually it's mid-show, but it was the main headline today. Like I said, man, it's almost draining to talk about him. But, you know, if the deal ever happens, then we got to be prepared for it. But will it happen? That is a totally different story. Black envelopes to nick this Dusan character is soon to wear Dior, Gucci, etc. Yeah, you'll see this guy's lifestyle change quick. You know, Thomas Partey, he's wearing Louis Vuitton and all sorts now on this Arsenal dough, you know. TK said, big up Curtis, missed you. First time I've caught you live in a while, been watching the playbacks. Big up to you, bro. Big up to everyone tuning in. Hope you're all safe, well, and looking forward to the Carabao Cup semi-final on Thursday. Although, people, is the game going to go ahead? I say that because of this. Feeling within the club is it is too early to determine if Arsenal versus Liverpool will go ahead on Thursday. It depends on recoveries, etc. The club is taking it day by day until a decision has to be made. We'll have to meet the English Football League rules rather than the Premier League regulations to postpone the Carabao Cup second leg. Are Arsenal trying to pull another fast one? Now, I supported the Tottenham postponement. I don't agree with any of these games being called off, but there was a loophole. We exploited it. I understood it, and I was shameless in my support of it. I have to admit, if we call this game off, my feeling will be slightly different. Because for me, we played Liverpool a week ago. And during that time, we loaned out Ainsley just before. We loaned out Balogun just before. We're on the verge of loaning out Pablo Mari, and we haven't signed anybody. We haven't signed anyone within that week. Are you telling me within a week you couldn't convince somebody to join the club? I've seen Coutinho join Villa. I'm not saying Coutinho was the answer, but players are moving. And the EFL rules are different from the Premier League. I'm not too sure how. I think Arsenal need to get their self sorted out a little bit. This game should not be getting called off. We've had enough time. It's not like we're riddled with COVID cases. North London derby, I felt we exploited a loophole. Didn't agree with it, but I understood it and I backed it. But this one, come on, man. Edu, do some work, bro. What are they paying you for? Do some work, Dusan Vlahovic. It's another dad joke. I'm shameless. I'm here all week, people. I apologise. But anyway, Edu, please get some players in, because I don't understand what's going off. You got Mikel Arteta doing a press conference saying that we can sign the best players in the world, yet we can't convince anybody at the moment to come. Now, as I said, transfer window, it's all about the right player, not getting the quickest player through the door. But come on, we're 18 days into January. We're desperate. We're desperate, people. We got no midfield. Who's going to play centre midfield against Liverpool? Sambi Lokonga and who else? Who else, people? I don't know who's going to play centre mid. I would imagine we would have to play Martin Odegaard there. He's played there before, and put Smith Rowe into the 10. Play a midfield three of Odegaard, Lokonga and Smith Rowe. And then play Saka and Martinelli wide, Lacazette through the middle. Don't play with an out-and-out 10. So I don't know, people. Amo said Edu's barbecue will convince him to sign. Patino, nah. Patino needs to chill, man. Go play under 23s or go on loan, man. Namir said, Curtis, reliable source says that we will play the game because players with short-term injury are back and no new COVID cases. I hope you're right. The game needs to go ahead this time for me. Captain Sal said, postpone it till Salah, Mane and Naby are back. I'm telling you, man. Get the game done before them, man, roll back. FaZe, what? Patino, nah. Patino. It's mad, innit? Because if Patino hadn't played that Forest game, Arsenal fans were hyping this brother up. He's the new Jack Wilshere. He's got a huge future. Played against Forest, got bullied, hardly got the ball. Every Arsenal fan's like, yo, man, dash that youth back in the youth team, man. He ain't ready yet. So, but I just don't think Patino, he got done against Forest. He's not ready for man like Fabinho, bro. Them man there, next level. Oh, I see him. Big up, bro. Said, we really are the gift that keeps on giving. Game suspended, sends another player on loan. How could we justify to the Premier League that we can't put out a sufficient team when we're just about to send Pablo Mari out on loan? It doesn't make no sense, Sol said, how many days a week does Edu work? How much is he getting paid? Jobs for the boys, I'm telling you. Is he doing enough? I don't know. Maybe he's doing great work in the background. At the moment, we just can't see it. Lionel said, damn, Kurt already gave up on Patino. Do you know I haven't given up on him? I just think not ready right now, bro. Maybe we give you a run out when we play, Norwich or, them games there that we can win. Sunny day at home. But nah, Liverpool semi-final, Fabinho, nah, man, relax, bro. We'll see you in a few months, Respectfully, people. We need to reach the cup final. I said yesterday on the member stream, I genuinely think if Arsenal get to the final, we can beat Chelsea. I don't know what it is about Chelsea and how they play. I know they packed us in at the start of the season. Lukaku was going on like prime Drogba. But he's in default mode right now. He's playing like he's got the Timberland boots on. I genuinely think we could beat Chelsea at Wembley. I really do. I think this Liverpool game is the more difficult one of the two. I know they talk about Baku, but we've done them in the last two cup finals. Respectfully, Sean, respectfully. So yeah, I think we could beat them in the final. Reece said, we've never been this close in getting UEFA Champions League again. Spend 30, 40 mil, we will get it. And listen, I'm in agreement with you. If we was to sign the right player, if we was to get, for example, a quality centre midfielder in for 30 or 40 million, even if we got one and didn't get the striker, because I think the striker's very difficult to get this month. I think that could be the difference between top four. We don't get anyone in, I got to be honest, I think we'll fall short. I think we're just lacking if we don't get someone. King said we need this trophy so we can see Curtis be shameless. Listen, people, you've seen me having meltdowns about Arsenal, right? You've seen the Arteta out shows when we were doing the Netflix series. Wait until you see Arsenal winning things with me on this channel. Even I think when we won the FA Cup, I wasn't really doing this channel on a daily basis. You'll see a whole different side to me. Let me tell you, people. I'm telling you, if Arsenal win that cup, if we lose the Carabao Cup final, I will be saying that cup, who cares about that cup? It's sponsored by an energy drink. They should get rid of it. It means absolutely nothing. I'm not even bothered. If we win the League Cup final, that trophy will be as important as a Champions League. That's how shameless. I'm telling you, I'll be storming the armory like Spartans attack. Give me everything. Just swipe the card, people. I'll be looking like Ty. I'll turn up with headphones, socks, vest, wristbands. I'll have the lot, people. Shamelessly as well. So, yeah, man. Wait. Yeah, if we lose, man, that's a Mickey Mouse trophy. If we win, that's an elite piece of trophy-ware, So, shameless settings, people. I'll be turning up like Ty. Headphones, water bottle, the lot, people. You know what I mean? But we move, people. We move. You're beyond shameless. It's kind of sad. No shame, my friend. No shame. That is what Arsene Wenger brought to me. He took me from gold trophies to 8-2s at Old Trafford, people. Shame went out the door a long, long time ago. I tell you that. Right, let's continue. Arsenal. Transfers. Let's talk about Granit Xhaka. This is probably the highlight of the show for me today in terms of the story. When I put this up, you're going to know why. It's a story that will make you laugh, it will make you angry, and it will surprise you. So, here we go. Granit Xhaka. According to Corriere dello Sport in Italy, Granit Xhaka doesn't seem happy to have stayed at Arsenal and could run into the arms of the special one, Jose Mourinho, in the summer, who is still interested in the player and continues to court him from afar. And here he is. He's in the chat, Granit Xhaka. Now, that story for me is legendary. It sounds a little bit over the top. Run into the arms of the special one. It's like one of them movies, innit? Them love stories, man. They're running through the field. There's buttercups and flowers everywhere and some butterflies. And the woman's running into the arms of the love of her life at the end of the film. You know what? Granit Xhaka running through Rome to find the special one. Listen, man. If there's any shortfall in this deal, if Arsenal want 20 mil and Roma offer 13 million again, then we set up a GoFundMe, people. Arsenal have got 17 million followers on Twitter. That's only a £7 million shortfall. That's not even a pound each. We'll make the difference up. Take him, please. Just take him. Look at the picture of him. Hands on his head. He's probably just been sent off at Anfield. Cue the Titanic. Therefore, wherever you are. Get him out! What more does this guy have to do to leave the club, please? Mourinho, just take him. I don't care. We don't even care about the price now. Just take it, man. We're desperate. They should have just put him on the plane with Ainsley. Should have just turned up with him. He's like, what? I only called for Ainsley. Yeah, but you buy Ainsley, you get Xhaka for Free. Just take him for free, man. We don't want him. What a story. If there's any truth in that, it's unbelievable. Comes to Arsenal. We've never touched Champions League since this guy came. He's had more than 50 cards, and I'm not talking about Christmas cards. He's made more mistakes leading to goals than any other midfielder in the Premier League since 2016. He spent the whole summer twerking. He twerked harder than Beyonce for Jose in the summer. And still, Mikel Arteta gave this brother a new contract. How does he thank him? He 2-foots Cancelo at the Etihad, and we hold 5. And then he does a kung fu kick on Jota. Everybody was kung fu fighting. Kung fu kicks him. Granite Van Damme, people. I thought I was watching Bloodsport. I used to love that film growing up. I don't know what's going on. And now he wants to run into the arms of the special one, people. The agent fee, the flight, the hotel, the transfer fee. We'll chip in, man. 17 million Arsenal fans on Twitter. Couple pound each, we get you 34 million. Get him out of here. First class. We'll even sell the house for you. Get him out. I've never seen a player who is defended so much, yet he's actually been so bad. A lot of Arsenal fans used to go crazy for Mesut Ozil. But I understood it because Mesut Ozil was amazing when we signed him. Towards the end, he wasn't as good, of course. But this guy, jeez, man, I would happily take Denilson back. And I used to go crazy about Denilson. I said, how can Arsenal sign the only Brazilian midfielder that plays like he's from the Faroe Islands? He's got no source. But I'd take Denilson back over this guy. Do you know what I mean? I swear, this guy, man, trash. Get rid of him. That is the story of the day for me. Story of the day. He wants to run into the arms of Jose. Let him fulfill his dream, people. Let's make it happen. Wax on, wax off, Karate Kid, Mr. Miyagi settings. I'm telling you now, all the midfielders we hammered, Frimpong, Denilson, bring them all back and take this guy out of it. Francis Coquelin, way better than this guy. Man said I'd take Gwen Stefani, man. I'm telling you. I'd take Danny Ceballos back, just spinning around over this guy. But we move, people. We move. John Layer, I knew you'd be here somewhere. There he is, Mr. Denilson himself. Kim Kallstrom, all is forgiven. Even with a broken back, all is forgiven. At least you didn't get sent off every week. This guy, unbelievable. But there you go. That is that's the story of the day. Granit Xhaka wants to run into the arms of the special one, Jose Mourinho. And for me, people, let him fulfill his dream. Martin Luther King Day yesterday. We're all about I have a dream. He wants to be with Jose that bad. Let's make it happen because personally, I've had enough of him. But we move, people. We move. Let's get a few comments before we move on. Nearly 2,000 of you in the chat. Lick down that like button and subscribe. Road to 50k, people. Chris said, definitely the story of the day. Let man go. Ainsley Maitland-Niles can join him. You know what I mean? Go and play centre mid together. Although Ainsley played right back for them. Zelalem, you remember them, man? There's Zelalem, American player. Graham said, Curtis, I'm now more than convinced that we should sign Guimarães, pay Leon 40 million and sign him in January. Bring a striker in on loan and buy our priority striker in the summer. Well, Graham, you've led me in nicely to the next story of the day. You've mentioned Bruno Guimarães, and Arsenal fans, you're not going to be happy about the story I'm about to put on the screen. I wish I could bring you good news, but this doesn't sound good. This is just so typical of Arsenal. It's unbelievable. Let me get this story on the screen regarding Bruno Guimarães. So, I'm going to need somebody to make this make sense. I'm going to have to take a sip of my drink. This might not be gospel, right? It could just be transfer talk. So, let me get this straight. Juventus are in talks with Lyon over the transfer of Bruno Guimarães. The Italian club are looking to replace Arthur Melo, who could be on his way to Arsenal. I know what you're all thinking. We're all thinking the same thing. So instead of us buying Bruno Guimaraes, who should be one of the top targets. We're going to Juventus to sign a player that may or may not work in England, but hasn't been good for over a year in Italy. We're going to Juventus to take that player on loan, and they're going to go and buy the player that we should be buying. Can somebody make that make sense? This is just insane. Now, let me just say, there's nothing to say that this is gospel. This could be paper talk. But let me tell you, if this happens, we got to ask serious questions of Edu, man. Serious questions. Because Juventus were saying just the other week they're short of money. They're struggling to get Dybala to sign a new contract. We're talking about we can sign any world-class player in the world according to Arteta. I mean, that doesn't make any sense anyway. They're going to buy the player we should buy as the replacement for the player that we're trying to buy. Somebody make that make sense to me, please. That is waffle settings if ever I've heard it. Only Arsenal could do this, couldn't they? Only Arsenal could do this. That boy Random said, check the Athletic tweet. Deal soon done for Dusan. Oh, don't give us false hope, bro. I'm going to check. I hope you're right. I hope there's breaking news. But yeah, I mean, you can see it happening, can't you? Juventus go and buy the player that we should buy, and then we take their cast off on loan. It will be so typical of Arsenal. On the Athletics page, yeah, nothing major. It's just a story they had up earlier. I don't think we're any closer to getting him, but obviously there's a lot of talk going off. But yeah, listen, I hope this one doesn't happen. Daily Dusan, I mean, we did Dusan Vlahovic at the start of the show, but this would just be crazy. This would just be ridiculous. He said openly he wants to play in the Premier League. Edu has a connection because Juninho, who is his former Brazilian national teammate, was obviously director of football at Lyon. I believe he's left now. Snake Eye said, Big C, if it makes sense, Arsenal will not do it. I'm telling you, this is Chuckle Brothers settings again, Fitz, if they do this. If true, yet another glaring mistake by the Chuckle Brothers. It's N'Golo Kante, Granit Xhaka. You know, it's giving me them vibes. But hey, we'll see. We will see. Dana said, what do you call this brilliant community over here? Do you know what? I don't really... Yeah, we need a little nickname. A few people said that, man. But we'll get something. Someone said, oh, this is the Shore Army. But maybe we need something else. But yeah, mate, we got an amazing community here, man. Legit community over here. Big up to every one of you. Living Legend said, I understand the Arthur Melo move. Get Melo for the rest of the season. Get Dusan and by the summer make a move for a worthy midfielder. Now, that would make sense. But Arsenal probably won't get Dusan. And then we'll get Melo. So, or maybe we'll get none of them. Maybe we'll get none of them. We'll get linked with all of them and sign none of them. Maybe that suits Edu a little bit more. You know? The situation with Arthur hasn't changed. Stories coming out of Italy, same thing. They won't let him go till they replace him. So we're sitting here waiting. Transfer window closes in 13 days, you know, and we're sitting here. Waffle squad. Oh, nah, I can't do that. It sounds like I'm putting people down, man. And when Arteta's eventually gone, the waffles will be off the menu, you know. But I like it. Shawsenal. Shameless shore soldiers. Try saying that after a night out. Shorefront soldiers. Xhaka mode army. Kirtley family. Curtis Setters. Yeah, we got some good ones. We'll get something there, people. But yeah, man, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Are we going to sign anyone, man? Are we going to sign? Clement said, greetings from East Borneo, Curtis. Great show. Big up to you, bro. E. Ross said, that's more of Arsenal linked for nothing in the end. Chasing a player to another club. It's mad. Brenner Guna, the best community, period. Big up to you, bro. Appreciate all of your input and everybody who tunes in. Whether it's once or whether it's, you know, you're watching it live. Short is, yo, short squad. The cones, yo, you lot are on easy, you know. I said the cones. But listen, let's move on. Let's move on. Couple more stories. It'll be a shorter show today, people. Probably 45 minutes rather than the usual hour. There ain't a huge amount of transfer news. The showstoppers. I like that one. But Aubameyang, we have to talk about Aubameyang, people. Now, we heard yesterday that Aubameyang is coming home. I'm coming home. Tell Arteta I'm coming home. I'm not sure if Arteta wants him home, but we'll have to see. But Aubameyang, the Gabon coach spoke yesterday after a training session. There seemed to be a little bit of confusion. Originally, it was Aubameyang's coming home. Then they tried to say, you know, he's got this, like, is it lesions around his heart, which is like scarring. They're trying to say the virus has left some scar damage around his heart, which is something that can happen when you've had a virus. I'm sure a lot of you, if any of you are in, medicine, will know a lot more about it than me. Somebody messaged me something about it, which, it sounds quite worrying. And then there was this story going around that maybe there was a discipline issue. Now, Aubameyang has come out and said, listen, this is made up. It's got nothing to do with that. And I have to put my health first, kind of thing. Patrice Navou, the coach of Gabon, said, we made the decision yesterday with the president and under pressure from the clubs too, because they're worried. So Aubameyang should go back to Arsenal and Mario Lemina back to Nice. I mean, one thing that's nice there is that at least Arsenal are showing some care towards Aubameyang. This guy's got, potential scarring around his heart. And I kind of felt like Arsenal had washed their hands with Aubameyang, which really disappointed me, especially when I know he's in the wrong and I know he should be punished. And maybe he should be moved on. Maybe his time is up. I don't know. That's another debate. But when you see the way Lukaku dealt with Chelsea and they forgave him real quick, I saw Ralph Rangnick today saying that him and Martial have had a meeting, discussed everything, and it's finished. This is a player that apparently refused to be in the squad, which is, very bad in my opinion. So I think, at least Arsenal have put pressure on Gabon and said, listen, if he's not well, you get him home. Are they doing it because they care about him, or are they doing it because their investment, who they're trying to sell, is even harder to sell if he has a health issue? But I think Arsenal need to bear in mind, this is a player now that's had COVID and had malaria. As Simon Mills said there, malaria plus COVID, man. Two very serious illnesses that can leave damage afterwards. So listen, get well soon, Aubameyang. It seems as if, Gabon played today. There's been no confirmation from Arsenal that he is coming back. So it will be interesting if he's involved for them today, but I'm pretty sure that he won't be. Gabon play Morocco at 7 o'clock tonight, and a victory could put them through. And if Ghana don't get a good result today, they could be out, and that would get Thomas Partey back to Arsenal sooner rather than later, people. So we'll have to see what happens. But all I will say here is get well soon, Aubameyang, and if he does come back to Arsenal, listen, I know some of you don't agree with it, but I said this before and I will say it again. If Arsenal cannot get Dusan Vlahovic this month, then for me, you reintegrate Aubameyang until the end of the season. 100%. Some of you may not agree with that. I think you cannot cut off your nose to spite your face, people. You can't sell Aubameyang, not sign a Vlahovic and have no one. And then what? We're going with Lacazette and Eddie Nketiah till the end of the season. Even if you have him on the bench, even if he's a squad player, I would personally, that's my opinion. I think going with Lacazette and Eddie Nketiah is insane. Because Lacazette, we know he doesn't score enough goals. If he got injured, then what are you doing? Eddie Nketiah. So I put it to you like this. Who would you rather play up front for Arsenal? Aubameyang or Eddie Nketiah? I know who every single person's answer would be. That's the way I've put the question to you in such a way there that even if you don't want Aubameyang back, you can't say Eddie Nketiah. So I've got all of you. I'm looking at all of you in the comments, because I see a lot of you saying, no, I don't want Aubameyang. Aubameyang or Eddie Murphy? Beverly Hills Cop 2 or Aubameyang? Norbit, Sherman Klump or Aubameyang? I don't even think we need a poll for that. I can hear in everyone's brain. I'm listening. Nobody wants Eddie up top. Lacquer is my answer. I like that. People want Lacquer, but listen. Wait till you're calling him Twerkazette by the end of the month. Do you know what I mean? I know. We do it all the time with Lacquer. Oh, Lacquer's such a good player, man. Look at his hold-up play. Look at the way he links up with the wingers. Oh, Lacquer, baller. Yeah, but Lacquer ain't scored in 5 games. Lacquer threat, Twerkazette. You know what I mean? It's a roundabout with Lacazette. It's the reason his contract isn't being renewed. It's the reason he's hardly had a French call-up since he played for Arsenal. I'm speaking facts, not fiction here. I like Lacazette. I'm a big fan of Lacazette. The reality is he doesn't score enough goals. We paid 50 million for a goal scorer. He was supposed to be an upgrade on Giroud, 10 to 15 goals a season. He hasn't been able to do that. Link-up play and hold-up play should not cost you 50 million. You can get that for cheaper, you know? So for me, I'm telling you, if you can't replace Aubameyang, keep him. Even if he's a squad player. But we'll debate that. We'll have a show on that, actually. That'll be a good topic to discuss. Twerkazette, man. Yo, man. Snake Eye said that would be the only poll that will be 100-0. Nobody would vote Eddie Nketiah. I'm telling you. Dylan said, Curtis, any regrets regarding Coutinho? Great game. What I would say is this. This is what I would say. And I'm not just saying this now because of I played against United. There is no doubt in Philippe Coutinho's ability. A lot of people were saying Coutinho is another Willian. I don't think he is. Because Willian came at, I think, 31, 32. Coutinho's come at 29. 29 is still kind of, you know, you can consider that the peak of your career. Or certainly towards the end of your peak. Willian, we know, came here because the contract suited him. He wanted the dough. He wanted 3 years. I think Coutinho has got a lot of question marks over him. And there's also a World Cup next year. And now people have to understand this guy cost £130 million. It ain't no joke. He's one of the most expensive players that we've ever seen in the game. And for me, Coutinho is a level above Willian anyway, even when they were at their best. I think Coutinho is an unbelievable signing for Villa. I think the only reason we didn't sign him is because we got Odegaard. I think if Odegaard wasn't here, we would have gone for him. You can't have loads of players that play between the lines. Odegaard, Smith Rowe likes to go there. Coutinho would want to go there. You know, you can't do that. If he was a central midfielder or something, in terms of quality, he's got the quality to play for Arsenal all day long. He could play for most teams in the Premier League with ease, especially if he's got the hunger. The talent's always been there. I think a lot of fans were looking at that performance thinking, maybe we should have got Coutinho. I just don't think we had space for him. I think his quality is undoubted. Even when he went to Bayern Munich on loan, he had a good season. Anthony said, the mad thing is we still don't even know what Aubameyang is meant to have done. So we can't condemn him until then. He had no issues before Arteta rolled. Now, you're preaching to the choir here, my friend. You know me, people. I like Auba. I just think when your most high-profile player has been banished by the manager, we deserve more of an explanation than he's turned up late a lot. Okay, he's turned up late a lot, so you've took the armband off him. All right. You've punished him. You've made him train. But is he coming back or is he not coming back? What is going on? I think they should have given us a lot more clarity. You look at the situation with Thomas Tuchel. They interviewed him after the game. What is going off with Lukaku? He said, listen, there's a meeting at the training ground on Monday. He needs to apologise and explain it. After Monday, he said, we spoke. He apologised. We're back. You know? And even with Martial, manager does a press conference today. We've had a meeting, squashed it. We move on. Why can't we do that? You know, I think the fans deserve some clarity. Especially a player that's been such a big player for us. Oh, he's turned up late. Oh, nah, man, come on. We need a bit more than that. Stop acting like Aubameyang is being missed. Listen, man, I think when Lacazette plays, our front three links up better. But Lacazette is not a better goal scorer than Aubameyang, even now. Even now, Aubameyang scored more than Lacazette. Now, don't get me wrong, and I said this before and I say it again, I've got no problem with Arsenal saying we think we're better without Aubameyang. He hasn't been good for the dressing room. We're going to sell him. If that happens, I ain't got no problem with that. But you've got to replace him. You have to replace him. And the replacement should be somebody like a Vlahovic. But you cannot get rid of Aubameyang and not bring someone in and tell me that Lacazette and Eddie Nketiah are going to get us top four. I don't buy into that. There has to be a goal scorer, you know. So, like I said, people, I got no problem if we want him to go, but you have to replace him. That's all I'm saying. Simon Mill said, stay tuned and watch it in the documentary next year. It will be juicy for sure. Chris said Aubameyang is still a lethal finisher when he's feeling good. We need to support him through the bad times as we have all enjoyed the good times he has gave us. I'm telling you, listen, one thing I will say, and I know people, you'll be on to me in the comments. Oh, Aubameyang's loyal. No, but I'm just being honest here. There isn't a player at Arsenal right now in the entire squad that has done more for this club than Aubameyang on the pitch in terms of what he has produced. Now, I know what a lot of you are saying, yeah, but that wasn't last season, that was the season before, and the season before that. And I respect that. He hasn't looked the player that he was 2 seasons ago. That's fine. But what I'm saying is, why has everyone just turned on him? I can understand people criticising him, saying, nah, man, he's let us down. He's turned up late. He's the captain. He should know better. Look at Granit Xhaka. Look at the stuff this guy, and he's still presently doing it. And yet this guy walks back into the team and everyone just goes quiet and accepts it. Oh, Xhaka's back. Oh, okay, we'll just get on with it. I don't see no uproar for Granit Xhaka when he comes back into the team. People just accept it. You know? Xhaka, the guy was trying to sign for Roma all summer, and he's trash. He's not even good. You know? All I'm saying is stay balanced, people. Stay balanced. Surely as a fan, we can want a player to go without being disrespectful. What did every Arsenal fan say when Sanchez left, Van Persie left? You're a snake. You left us when we needed you the most. Aubameyang commits to us, has a bad year and a half, and that can't be denied. Had a bad year and a half. And all of a sudden, nice finish, we hate him, is this, get rid of him. Everyone, our own fan base have turned on our own player. I don't get that. I don't get that, people. Constructive criticism of the way he's behaving, he deserves that. Because you're the captain, you're the leader. You can't keep turning up late when we got young, impressionable players. I understand that. Even taking the armband off him, punishing him, making him train with the youngsters. But completely pushing him to the side and saying, stay away from everything, and not even giving the fans the explanation. If we knew, listen, he's been doing this, and we were like, rah, Aubameyang's moving mad, you know, we would understand it and say, do you know what? Yeah, man, I understand it. You got to get rid of him. But we don't even know the full story. Why don't we know? Man United fans know about Martial. Chelsea fans know about Lukaku. But we don't know about Aubameyang. I don't know, people. All I'm saying is that's why I've reserved a lot of the ammunition at Aubameyang, because it's like, yo, we don't know the full story. He's in the wrong, no doubt about that. Is he still a good player? I always put it like this. If you put Aubameyang in Manchester City's team right now, do you think he would bang goals in? I already know the answer without even saying anything. He'd score a hatful with the amount of chances that they create. Liverpool score a hatful. So that means he's still a good player there. He's just probably in the wrong system, the wrong team at that age. So maybe he's not right for Arsenal, but I do think at times we should support some of our players a bit more, especially when they've done a lot. Alfred said, for over a year now, something hasn't been right with Aubameyang. Issues with his mum. He's caught COVID multiple times. Arteta burnt him out on the wings. I mean, it's an interesting point. He ripped the German league apart for Thomas Tuchel. Started like a house on fire for Arsene Wenger. Won the Golden Boot for Unai Emery. Goes to Mikel Arteta. And it all goes pear-shaped. I don't know. Is it coincidental? I don't know, people. I don't know. But it's definitely interesting. We could easily do a whole show on this Aubameyang situation. People have got a lot of strong comments on it, and I understand it. I understand it. There are two sides to the argument. I don't want people to just think I'm capping for Aubameyang because he's done wrong and he deserves to be punished. But at the same time, we need to know the full facts. And I think the fans deserve to know the whole situation. And I don't understand why. I really don't know why it's been so quiet. This is why a lot of these new strikers that we're getting linked with, I don't even get excited by a lot of them because I'm like, is he even that good? Like, you know, I don't know. It's interesting. It's an interesting one. We may have to do a whole show on it, people. South London's finest, 2.2k watching, 536 likes. Let's hit 1,000 likes, people. Free Aubameyang. Free him, man. The man's got scar tissue around his heart. All sorts going off, man. Jack said Aubameyang is finished, bro. And you know what? I don't mind anybody who thinks that. I don't get the witch hunt towards him. That's all I said. You know, I don't mind anyone who thinks Aubameyang's finished because some people who look at it and go, he's 32, he's had a bad year and a half, doesn't look as quick, doesn't score as many. Maybe the contract turned his head, too much money. I would understand all of that debate. I would understand all of that debate. What I would also say, though, is you've got to look at what attacking player is thriving in the Arsenal team since Mikel Arteta has been in. Because Lacazette isn't scoring more goals. Aubameyang's scoring less. Pepe's done nothing really under Arteta. Who's thriving under Mikel Arteta? The young players. You know, that's it. None of the experienced attackers. And Willian, you know, look what Willian had his best season of his career the year before Arteta got hold of him. Facts only, people. Facts only. But we move. Listen, big up to every one of you for tuning in today. It was a shorter stream. We got to 52 minutes, I think. Martinelli's just got in the team. So, yeah. Let's get a few comments in, actually, before we get out of it. Let's get a few comments in. Would you like to see Pepe up front? A lot of people have said that. Could he play up front? I know there was a feeling that he can play centrally. Why not try it, you know, when he comes back? Dang said, hey, Curtis, what do you think Torreira's advice would be to Vlahovic if he asked about Arteta's player management? He'd probably say, stay far away from that guy, mate. Stay far away. He'll nick your hair gel as well. You know what I mean? Pedro said, Curtly, you forgot the Amazon deal, no soup. Yeah, I mean, they may be holding things back for the documentary. You know, they may be. Christopher said, I mean, like Darwin Núñez. Yeah, he looks like he's a good player. I think he's at Benfica and he looks decent. Cristiano said, are you sure, Curtis? Because he got chances that an out of player would relish and he did not capitalise, not as clinical in spite of Arteta attacks. Yeah, listen, you've got to put some responsibility on him. He was missing chances, definitely. So I'm not taking the blame away from him completely, but I feel there's a collective that's caused it. Alberto said, let's not be ungrateful. Aubameyang put in work for us despite his poor form. Xhaka is just a liability. Who's the next guest you're bringing on? Kevin Campbell, Hugh Wizzy? Yeah, I need to get some guests on this week. I haven't really had many people on in the last couple of weeks. So, yeah, we'll sort it. I did speak to Kev. I think Kev might be on towards the end of the week. Me and Hugh Wizzy, man. We got to get that show done. Arteta seems done with Pepe. I actually thought when he came to the club that Pepe was somebody he may really want to work with. You know, as they said, he did really well with Leroy Sané and Sterling, but just doesn't seem interested in trying to get anything out of him. Strictly football, doesn't this Vlahovic deal and the finances being spoken about give you Pepe vibes? It's definitely a lot of money for a player that hasn't done that much, if we're honest. He's had 18 months. And we're paying 70 million. It's a risk. No Champions League as well, so we haven't even seen him on the top stage yet. So it's interesting. But let's see if it happens. Jack said Arteta just hates the players the old managers signed. A lot of people say that, man. You know, it's like he wants all his own signings there. Bring him on the bench. Listen, he could help us on the bench, surely. Collab with Deluda Guna, bro. Yeah, I'm in contact with Deluda. We haven't done a show for a while. Definitely need to look at getting some guests back on the show. That is for sure. FB said I'd take Spence as a right back squad option. Can't be any worse than Cedric. You know, Cedric is poor. Why can't Arsenal buy Mbappe? Somebody tell Kev, please. Oh, mate. I love questions like that. I'm really not sure how to answer that, but somebody let him know. Graham said, Curtis, have you ever considered Tom Canton on? He has the Gooner Talk podcast on the Arsenal Way. I think you and him would be a good collab. Yeah, me and him have spoke. We'll definitely try and get something done. I saw him at the Content Awards. That was the first time I'd met him. Wax as well. Yeah, man, I speak to Wax. We'll definitely get some stuff done. LV said, baffles me where constructive criticism has gone. I'm starting to draw a reference to Kelechi's perspective after the West Ham game. Is this hate coincidence? I mean, I know what you're referring to, man. It's a difficult one without knowing. It's got to be factual if you're going to talk about things like that. But the energy seems different, you know. That's all I can say. Get Rants. Yeah, big up Rants, man. I know Rants. I think Rants exclusively on Twitch now, though. I think he can feature on YouTube. We can't keep blaming Xhaka. He does not pick himself. You're right, Snake Eyes. Eventually, you got to look at the manager and say, bro, he don't pick himself. Sell the brother. Get him out. Kolasinac has just landed in Marseille. Oh, I hope that's right. Let me have a quick browse. See if there's any news on Twitter before we get out of here. Lacazette has apparently turned down an offer from Newcastle. Interesting. Rumours going around. Side Kolasinac has arrived in Marseille to finalise his move. Apparently, the FIFA ban has not been implemented yet, and they can still sign players. So Kolasinac has landed, apparently, in Marseille. Oh, good luck to Marseille. Do you know what? Marseille probably think they got Saliba, they got Guendouzi. They're probably thinking, yo, every time we get players from Arsenal, you know, this is brilliant. Let's get another one. Things are about to go downhill real quick. Guendouzi's balling in centre mid in the French squad. Saliba wrapping up Mbappe. Amazing young centre back. Kolasinac, you're not going to quite get the same level of player that the first two were. That is for sure. Things are going to go downhill real quick. Lavan said, why can't Arsenal sign Curtis Shaw? Hey, man. I'm past my prime, people. I'm past my prime. I'm an experienced OG in football right now. Give them Xhaka too. Just put about 5 players on the plane. Kolasinac, Holding, you know, El Neni. Send all of them over there, man. And Nketiah. Take all of them. Marseille fans will love Kolasinac. Yeah, they will, mate, until Messi rips him to shreds when he plays against him. Yeah, maybe he's a security guard. Top flight security of the world, Craig. Not just the city, the world. If you've seen Friday After Next, you're with me right now. If you haven't, then you're thinking, what's he talking about? Darren Farley's on his way, people. We're speaking. I am gonna get that done. Marseille's new bouncer. Big up Ali Mohammed watching all the way from USA. Listen, people, big up to all of you for tuning in today. Really appreciate your support. Smash that like on the way out if you didn't smash it on the way in. And subscribe if you haven't already. Road to 50k settings. Tomorrow we'll do a preview to a Liverpool game. We'll have press conference reaction. Bring your syrup. It's going to be pure waffle if the game doesn't get called off. And we'll figure out what team we're going to pick. We'll hear the team news, hear who's available, and look ahead to a massive semi-final second leg on Thursday, people. So big up to every one of you for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe, stay blessed, and I will see you all tomorrow, people. Bless.